Okay, good evening. Thanks. Okay, I'd like to call to order the October 26th, 2017 Plan and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting at 7:01. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to welcome Bruce Mellon to the board. Thank you for stepping up to volunteer for this position.
My pleasure.
Roll call, Jen?
Chairman Dash.
Here.
Commissioner Kempa.
Here.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Here.
Commissioner Tamman.
Here.
Commissioner Patel.
Here.
Commissioner Mellon.
Here.
Would like to make an announcement at this time that Commissioner Frank Watson has officially resigned her seat from the PZBA. Having 5 young ones and running all over, time commitment is, she just can't manage right now, and respectfully resigned this week. So that's why she's not here.
Okay. All right, so the next item on our agenda will be approval of the minutes from our August 24th, 2017 meeting. Are there any comments, changes, or corrections as presented? Okay, and I'd like a motion, please, to approve the August 24th, 2017 PZBA minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Tamman.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon.
Abstain.
Abstain. And Chairman Dash.
Aye. Okay. Doesn't look like we have any old business tonight. Okay, so then we'll move on to our new business. Okay, so our first case under new business is PZBA zoning public hearing, case number ZBA 17-10TA, and the applicant is Joe Pascucci, addressed at 697 Glendale Drive in Prospect Heights. And the request is a text amendment to section 5-8-2A3, additional parking regulations to the City of Prospect Heights zoning code to allow a tow truck in excess of 12,000 GVW, gross vehicle weight, but not to exceed 14,000 GVW, to be stored in a garage in the R1 residential district. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion to open the public hearing on application number ZBA 17-10TA.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so if you're here this evening to present or testify, I can go ahead and swear everybody in all at once. So you can stand and raise your right hand, and then when you come forward to give testimony, you just need to state your name and address for the record. Okay, so do you swear that the testimony you're about to give this evening will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. So, Director Peterson, comments?
This has been a follow-up to the previous application that Mr. Pascucci had before this body. It was stated early on that the desire for the detached garage was to house a tow truck for his towing business. During that discussion, it was disclosed that the tow truck was not permitted at its vehicle weight because our ordinance restricted vehicles over the 12,000 GVW. During the discussions, staff discussed with Mr. Pascucci on a number of occasions the process in which to seek relief, which was the text amendment. So there, Mr. Pascucci has, in his himself, your attorney or your dad worked on the language of the text amendment. So this is language that they propose to add to our additional parking regulations for the purpose of allowing Joe to park the tow truck in the residential district. So that's where we're at.
Great. Okay, so if you'd like to present the information this evening?
Thank you, Board.
So
And actually, I need you to state your name and address for the record, please.
Joseph H. Pascucci, 697 Glendale Drive, Prospect Heights, Illinois, 60070.
Thank you.
So basically, we've got proof and documents. I've given you guys all copies. We weighed out the truck. The truck weighed roughly 13.6, and we put, obviously, 14,000 pounds to not exceed 14,000 for the gross vehicle weight. We also came up with these restrictions. We worked, my lawyer and the city lawyer, come up with some verbiage that actually fits exactly what we're looking for so that it's very straightforward. Vehicle can only be stored inside a garage, not parked outside. Vehicle can only be gas-operated vehicle, not diesel, because diesel's louder and it smells a little bit. The vehicle cannot exceed 14,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. Vehicle cannot operate its emergency lights and/or sirens within the residential neighborhood. Vehicle cannot tow and/or unload any vehicle onto the property. And the vehicle cannot be more than 5 years old. So basically, it's got to be a nicer-looking vehicle. It's not going to be an old truck. All of our trucks, we have 9 trucks in our fleet. All of our trucks are usually within 5 years old anyways, so.
Before we go on, Mr. Pascucci referenced a packet of information that he hand-delivered tonight. We will reference that as PZBA Exhibit Number 6. So if questions come up or any pages, that's what we're going to be referencing to. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Can I add something to that? My name's Joseph D. Pascucci Jr., Long Grove, Illinois, Joey's father. This truck that we're talking about is, anybody in the towing business would know you don't want to own this truck because it's a lightweight, light-duty truck. We don't have anything like it. We bought it specially with the assumption that we were going to be able to park it in the garage that we were going to build. We went through a similar instance in Arlington Heights when he lived in Arlington Heights. So we've gone through all this and we got it passed in Arlington Heights. And we didn't go with this style truck. We had a different truck. But this one here is the lightest truck you can get. It's a little bit over the 12,000 pound requirement. And I mean, we've done everything we can. He's building a garage that's going to be, it's going to cost 10 times more than any other garage that you would do just because we want to be able to house this truck in there. This truck will never be seen on the road except going into the garage and out. And that's what we wanted. We sat down with our attorneys to put this text amendment together. I think he worded it pretty good, I'm hoping. And we hope that you guys feel that way too. In the last 2-3 weeks, I've been going out at night, and I know Prospect Heights is trying to eliminate trucks in the driveways, and they don't want any type of truck. So I took the time, I would go out at 8, 9 o'clock at night and drive through Prospect Heights. There's a lot of trucks in Prospect Heights. So, I mean, I think if you guys, or whoever's gonna try and stop that, it's gonna be, you're gonna have some unhappy people. I mean, it's a working class guy that owns a truck. Maybe you can do something, maybe not have a name on the side of the truck or something like that, but I don't know of another village that's doing that, where trucks are not allowed in the village. I mean, if there is, I'd like to know, where they're at. Even, I live in Long Grove, they allow it. So, I just wanted to make that point. I mean, we want this garage really bad. We'll do anything we can to get it. And whatever you guys, if you have any ideas to help us, we would love to hear it. Thank you.
One of our biggest needs, obviously, for having the tow truck, which I know I presented in the past, is that we're considered a first responder in the state of Illinois. We do strictly police towing. We don't do anything else other than police towing. We tow for 5 police departments. So we have a 20-minute response time. Some of our police departments are 15 minutes. Most of them are 20 minutes. So I have to literally be on a call and be there quickly to clear up the roadway and create any other dangers for other drivers on the road. So that's basically my importance for having the truck in my house.
And this is a truck that might not even be used every night, because we have night drivers. It's only for an emergency. If we do have a bad accident, or Joey has to go out in it, he's got the truck that can fly out there.
Okay. So is that the extent of your presentation, or is there anything else in this packet you want to go through with us? Or just-
I basically put pictures of I did two different weights to show you guys on two different scales. I also took pictures. I did one at the Glenview police scale, and I also did one at the Northbrook police scale. I took pictures of it on the scale. Also presented in the report the actual scale ticket, so it shows the proof of how much the truck weighs. Also, some documentation showing that, you know, how my importance of being a first responder is to me getting to the scene as quickly as possible, working with the police and fire to clean up the scene as quickly as possible.
Joey's also gone through his neighbors. I believe there's 6 or 8 of them, I'm not sure how many there is, but and gotten their approval that they don't have a problem with it. You should find a piece of paper in there with their names signed off on it. It's all the houses that are close to him that would be affected by a tow truck pulling in out of his driveway. So nobody around him has a problem right now.
Did,
You guys all have a copy of the text amendment, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
um,
And I've been told that you're aware of the requirements in order for us to, the standards that would have to be met in order for us to approve this, correct? Are you familiar with those standards?
There were 5 standards that were given that needed to be addressed for the text amendment. And it was part of the page that I gave you with the application. I copied 5 things and gave them to you that talks about the impact of the proposed must be beneficial to the community, not detrimental or harmful. A need needs to exist for this proposed use. The use must be compatible with the comprehensive plan. Those 5 items, you remember that?
Okay.
I had given, when you came in, when we talked about the application
Okay, I'm
process.
unaware that, I might have a copy of it, it might have been.
Okay. Because that, and the reason I'm asking is because those are the criteria under which we're going to evaluate this case, right? Whether you're a nice guy, not nice guy, whether you're driving an ambulance or driving a tow truck, whether it's for personal reasons, or, again, those criteria, although we can take that into consideration, really are not the guidelines under which, as a board, we have to review to see if the standards are met. And so that's why I'm asking, right? So our ordinance outlines these standards for us to approve a text amendment, okay? So as commissioners, you know, ordinance clearly states, no text amendment shall be recommended by the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals unless, you know, the following criteria are met. So if you have, at first glance, I'm not seeing how your application meets any of these criteria. Again, this is beneficial to you and to your business potentially, but to the entire community as a whole. You know, that's the first item. That a need exists for the general type of use proposed, and that the specific proposal will indeed satisfy it more closely in other possible uses. Again, I think if nothing else, this opens up the opportunity for other people to come in. I mean, my husband owns a sign company, and we have a bucket truck, and I'm certain it would fall within this category, and I don't want his truck parked on my driveway. I don't want it, you know, I'm not building a pole barn to store it either, which, you know, again, is it compatible with our comprehensive land plan? Again, the answer is no. Is it harmonious with the surrounding general uses? No, right? So this is my opinion, of course, we're going to open up to the other commissioners, but if you have again, I don't know what you might be able to present this evening, but these are the criteria under which we're judging, or which we're going to be making a decision. Again, it's not, do we like you, or do we approve of your business? Do we think you do a great job? I mean, again, that's not really what we're taking into consideration. It's, very black and white here in regards to, as a board, we can only approve a text amendment under the following conditions.
Well,
So,
one of the things, the conditions is, can anybody else meet these requirements? If you do change that text amendment, I think it'd be pretty hard. They would have to be exactly like us to do that, what we're putting in that text amendment. First of all, they'd have to be able to buy a truck that's under 14,000 pounds that would do towing. They would have to park it in the truck, because we're not talking about leaving it in
a garage.
driveway. It's gonna be
Right.
in the garage all the time. We're saying gas, most trucks are diesel. This is just like a car. Well, we plan on buying, we will put a new truck in that garage every 5 years. So you're never gonna see a rusted old beat up truck laying out there. If he is towing things, you're never gonna see it with a car on it. You're gonna see the truck owner. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I never saw a copy of that.
It was,
I never got a copy of this.
you were in my office, I printed it off when I gave you the application. I took it out of the code, and I told you the code sections and the standards under the text amendments.
and if you want to take a second to sit down and take a look at it, that'd be
We have
great.
someone else
Right,
there.
because we have other testimony tonight too. So why don't we listen to the other testimony, and then we can
Okay.
revisit these
Yeah, I never saw it.
criteria. Okay, so if you'd like to come forward.
So I'm Edward Madden. I live at 611 North Elmhurst Road here in town.
Could you spell your last name, please?
Sure, Maddden.
Thank you.
So although I'm not directly impacted by the proposed use, and I certainly have nothing against, don't know them in any manner, I am hoping that the board will deny their application. I can tell you this, I don't believe that any commercial vehicle, even one that would be new, is applicable for being stored in a residential in a residential area. I've lived next to a neighbor who's had commercial vehicles there, both inside and outside of his garage, and I can tell you we are impacted by it. Even though they may be responsible in what they're proposing, this is a text amendment, and it does change, and it does set precedent for others to come before you and get similar remedy from you that may not be as responsible. And I think we're just opening up a can of worms with something like this. Again, nothing directly against them. Whether the truck is new or not, certainly older trucks are bad, but even new tow trucks are still a tow truck. Again, you address the standards. They didn't present anything to suggest that those standards were being met, and particularly whether a hardship was shown or not. I know it'd be nice to be convenient to operate their business in that way, but unfortunately, this is still a residential neighborhood, and I would hope that we do what we can to protect that. Thank you.
Is anyone else here this evening to speak to this case?
Or do you guys want to take a minute and take some time to read through this? And if we want, we can continue this and have you come back at the end of the, in a couple minutes.
Really, I never saw this. And it's not,
And it's not in there.
Because we talked about and then when we also met with your attorney in the room, we talked about meeting the standards for text amendment.
But it's in our ordinance, correct? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we're stating that.
Right here, right here.
I'm just saying that if we had known this, I would have came a little more
It was on the second page that was given to him.
No, but in the packet,
Okay.
I had given that to him. So if you, what we could, Chair, if to give them a couple minutes to compose, we could continue this hearing, and if that's the will of the commission, and then reopen it up after the other two cases, if that's,
Or could we give them, just continue this case to another meeting?
we could continue it until the November. We will be having a November 16th meeting, if that would be better to give you the opportunity. So if we go forward and it gets denied, it's denied. It'll be recommended denial. So it's up to you. Do you want to move forward tonight, or do you want to continue it for 1 month or 3 weeks? Well, that would be the council meeting, but the council's not, if we continue it to the next PZBA meeting, then it'll be, after that meeting, will be the council. The council won't see this until this body acts.
All right, yeah, we go for continue.
I mean, and we're a recommending body, right? So we could say yes, and city council could say no. We could say no, and city council could say yes. So,
So that's the choices, and I move forward and
right,
take
so
the
we want
chances
to,
on
yeah,
this, or give you
we
the
want to
time
give you an opportunity to put your best foot forward, absolutely. Whether that changes the opinion of this board or city council, I can't tell you that. So. Okay,
Joey, can you step up so we can get it, please?
I'd like to ask for a continuance for the next meeting then, please.
And that will be Thursday, November 16th, which we have another case on that night. So it's up to the will of the council, the commission.
Thursday, November,
But, yeah, these guys need to take a vote first. You're asking for it, they've got to,
okay.
Deliberate.
And should I close the public hearing first and then take the vote
you
Or
need
do-
to ask for, a vote to continue.
during the public hearing?
Right now, he's asked
Okay.
for it, you have to make a motion to continue it. So
Okay, so I'd like a
I'll make
motion.
that motion to continue.
Okay, a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, Jen?
Commissioner Kempa,
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff,
Aye.
Commissioner Tamman,
Aye.
Commissioner Patel,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon,
Aye.
Chairman Dash.
Aye.
All right, 7 o'clock on the 16th.
Thank you.
Okay. So now I'll go ahead and close the public hearing?
Well, no,
Or it's just continued, sorry, it's
It's
continued.
continued.
Okay, perfect. So the public hearing is continued
until that date.
till that date. Okay. All right, so then we would go on to our next case, correct?
Yep, hold on 1 second, take it out, write some notes here.
Do I need to admit this into the,
We'll do that. We've
Next
marked it,
time?
we've already marked it as Exhibit 6,
Okay.
and when we go to make our closing documents and standards. Okay, thank you.
okay. Okay, so then we'll move on then to our second case, PZBA zoning public hearing case number ZBA 17-11V. The applicant is Michael Mosier, okay, at 305 Lonsdale Road in Prospect Heights. And the applicant is requesting a variance to the City of Prospect Heights zoning code, Title 5-3-4G, lot coverage, to allow the placement of an accessory structure, which would be a shed, and a required side yard. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion to open the public hearing on application number ZBA 17-11V.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so I can go ahead and swear everybody in at the same time if you're here to testify. Okay, if not, why don't you just come up then and we'll. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And your name and address for the record, sir?
Michael Mosier, 305 Lonsdale Road, Prospect Heights, Illinois, 60070.
Okay, so Director Peterson?
This is a case where Mr. Mosier has a odd-shaped lot off of Lonsdale. He's requesting to construct a 720-square-foot detached garage, but due to the configuration lot, the location of his driveway, and his placement of his house, it limits the areas in which he can go and put it and then still have access off his existing driveway. To get the garage to fit, approximately 100 square feet of that 720 appears to encroach into the required side yard, which now then would require a variation, and that's why he's here this evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to get us up to speed on your application?
Sure. So my request tonight is for a variance to build on my side yard. Dan explained it very well. Approximately 100 square feet of my proposed detached garage will land on that side yard. So I have a plat of survey with a detail of where my garage would like to be placed. Really, the variance is a convenience for me. And if I were to build somewhere else on my property, I would have to build a driveway the length of my longest property line.
Okay. So the plat that you provided to us just showed the proposed garage location?
Yes.
So it would be your intention then to access that garage with some kind of paved surface?
Yes, it would.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there going to be tree removal required to?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Okay. Is there any specific items or things you're planning to store in the garage, just out of curiosity?
Absolutely. I have an antique car that I'll store in there.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay. Any other questions by the commissioners?
Asphalt driveway to the,
Yes, whatever this board approves, asphalt, maybe pavers, you know, I haven't come up with a final.
And we won't need to approve anything as long as he meets the code, correct?
Correct.
Right, okay. Okay. So I don't see anyone here this evening to speak to your case. Have you had any communication with your neighbors there on Wheeling Road? It looks like there's only maybe two of your neighbors that
Yeah,
would be in close proximity to,
my neighbor behind me, it's a vacant home. I think it's for sale, so I wasn't
Okay.
able to communicate with them.
okay,
My neighbor directly next to me, Dan Noonan, I spoke with him. He's more than happy that I can put a garage there. It doesn't bother him at all.
okay.
That's just a verbal.
This house here. Right, well, they receive public notice
Oh,
of tonight's
absolutely.
meeting, so obviously there's no one here this evening to object. Just was curious if you had any conversations with your neighbors.
Yeah, they're excited for me.
I think due to the irregular lot configuration that he has, that, and not to ruin any more green space and/or, yard for kids and whatever else to play, I think that's probably about the best option that he has. I don't have an objection with it.
Okay,
I kind of agree. I agree with that. It's the best option he has.
okay, great. Okay, then, if there's no further discussion, then let's go ahead and, I'd like to ask for a motion to close the public hearing on application number ZBA 17-11V.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yeah, the staff review, correct. Okay, so now I need a motion to receive into the public record the staff review of compliance of this application with the zoning standards as presented by staff this evening, and to make these standards a part of the official record for the application.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. And then now I'd like to see if one of the commissioners would like make a motion to recommend that the city council approve the description of the request. The application is for a variance to the City of Prospect Heights zoning code titled 5-3-4G lot coverage to allow the placement of an accessory structure, which is a shed in this case, in a required side yard.
Garage.
Oh, sorry, garage.
I'll make the motion to approve the variance.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, Jen?
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Tamman.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon.
Aye.
Chairman Dash.
Aye.
This will be up for city council review on Monday, November 13th. And Mike, I'll send you an email tomorrow.
That's great. Board, thank you for your time. I
Great.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to our third item, Plan Commission Public Hearing, case number ZBA 17-12LC. The applicant is the Greenbrier Senior Living LLC, addressed at 708 Elmhurst Road in Prospect Heights. The applicant has applied for approval of final plat of subdivision for the Greenbrier of Prospect Heights consolidation. The project received preliminary approval in 2014, and the project was completed earlier this year. Staff has reviewed the document, and all information is in order. Am I supposed to be reading all this? Sorry.
No, it's
The
fine.
Plan Commission should review the application to section 6-3-4A of the City of Prospect Heights Municipal Code. We need to open,
No, there's no public hearing. This is a
Okay.
public meeting.
Public
'cause it's a- Because it's a plant consolidation. So there's, step to the microphone. We do have representatives from Greenbrier here. Just to let everybody know, this is part of the standard approval process that the Plan Commission has to review and make recommendations on the final plats, that it's in general conformance of what the preliminaries were approved. And staff has reviewed it, and it meets those documents, so
if you would just,
Thank you
you
very
should say your
much.
name and,
she can just
We
say
hope you all come and visit us and stop by, see the
name, full name and.
Cheryl Cohen.
Show. Okay. And you work for Greenbrier, or,
Part of the group.
okay.
okay.
And just for the record, let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, so go ahead.
We're part of the group. We're a group of 5 or 6 of us. I actually lived in Prospect Heights when I first moved to the United States. It was my idea that we should build here. I love this town, and my kids love this town. And we're very thankful. It's wonderful working with all of you, and it's full circle,
Great.
full circle.
Right, well, from what I've seen, the building is beautiful, and the site improvements you've made there are very nice.
We're proud of it, and we're glad you guys held us to very high standards, because now we all love the finished product, right?
Great.
So I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the community. Like I say, this is where I started in the U.S., and hopefully this is where I'm going to move in one day.
Can you spell your name for the record so I get that right?
So first name Cheryl, Sheryl, last name Cohen, Cohen.
And what is the name of the group?
So, well, Greenbrier, Prospect Heights.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's been a wonderful experience. I really mean it. I work with a lot of different towns, and you guys are a joy to work with. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, so, absolutely, please come forward. So,
There's no, there's no public hearing, no
Right,
testimony, so you don't
right.
have to swear in, but if you want to comment.
Yeah.
So I'm Edward Madden, I live at 611 North Elmhurst Road, and I'm directly across the street, or actually kitty corner. I can tell you, I was a part of a neighborhood group that vehemently opposed a previous development to this property. And so when this was proposed, we really were very supportive of it. And I can tell you, seeing the project come to fruition and the quality of the development, and I've met the staff and have been there, the quality of the people running of it is excellent. And for somebody, you know, who could definitely be impacted either way on it, I just want to let you know we're grateful for that going in there and have been very, very supportive of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need a motion
Just
to,
a motion to approve the plat of consolidation, final plat.
okay, so is there a motion to approve the final plat of consolidation?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Tamman.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon.
Aye.
Chairman Dash.
Aye.
Great. November 13th, Monday night, 6:30 here. And it's pretty much going to be just perfunctory, but if you'd like to come and greet the city council, that would be great.
Okay, so the fourth item on our agenda is our 2018 PZBA calendar,
Yes.
which everyone received a copy of.
4 Thursdays of the month, except for November.
Oh,
Okay,
So,
okay.
put them on your calendars now.
check,
Check.
check, okay. Any communications this evening? Okay. All right, so then, with no further business, do I hear a motion to adjourn the October 26th, 2017 Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.